bigger?
Welcome, Angry Faithful, to the Friday What the Hell episode where we talk a little bit of mostly political on this. And Bill wanted the title to be Did Abbott Just Turn Texas Blue? We'll get into that here in a second. Because Bill decided to text me, "Hey, Dave, can we say hell within first 7 minutes?" This perplexes me because I was at work still. And I was like, what is he talking about? I was like, oh, I'll figure it out when I get home. I get home and I'm looking at it and I'm going, our title is What the Hell? What the hell is he thinking when he said that? I can't believe this man is allowed on my show and I view him as something as a, I don't know, intellectual. And he ruins it every time.
Always looking for the technicalities. I know we can't curse within 7 minutes, but how bad? I know the F word. The
Yeah.
B word, probably never.
Beyonce?
Yeah. The C word, probably never.
Oh, we can't say the C word even when we're supposed to be on air, it gets flagged. Which is horrible unless we're in Australia and it gets used all the time. We could, act like we're Australian and so we could use the C word all the time because I love that word. I really do. I really love that word.
Yeah, Charlie was a nice guy.
Yeah, Charlie was a nice guy. Anyways, Bill, why do you think Abbott is turning Texas blue? Because the first time I saw that, I was like, oh, he must be talking about all the Muslim stuff that was happening in McKinney, Texas. So we're going to go with that first because no one likes Bill. This is what's happening in McKinney, Texas right now. Well, last couple of days. What they're trying to do is they're trying to vote in. Let me get this squared away. Basically, that was get us face to face. That was former mayor of McKinney, George Fuller, who gets booed and assaulted as he's walking out of the city council meeting. Why, you ask? Is because the people of McKinley don't want the mosque, and McKinney is actually in the area with Plano, where the Epic City is supposed to be going, which is you're not allowed to go in and not be Muslim. They already have banks set up where if you're not Muslim, you can't get a loan or anything like that. You can't bank with them if you're not Muslim, which is against the Constitution, against civil rights. They have areas in that part of the city where it's mostly predominantly Muslim, and they also had the father of an ISIS terrorist come in and talk about how ISIS was his son was part of ISIS. And I don't know, maybe the Muslim Brotherhood that is considered a terrorist organization is allowed to buy stuff around that area. So, Bill, please tell me your importance, a reason why you think Abbott is turning Texas blue.
Well, He can come out. He can come out and put a stop to that, and everyone will go, "Okay, great, you did it."
No, here's the problem. We already have the problem I have with it is we already have everything that the Sierra law. What is it called? Is it Sierra law?
Sierra law?
Their law for Muslims.
Sharia.
Sharia. Thank you very much. They have a Sharia law that is banned in Texas. Banned. There is literally, you cannot practice Sharia law in Texas. But here's the thing. No one's enforcing it. Hey, how's it going? Storm Smuggler 7. Okay. That's weird.
We have people.
Yeah, we have lots of people. Yeah, usually we have to give it like 5 minutes when we're on YouTube. But yeah. Hey, what's up? But the thing is all the stuff. Oh, Slugger. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. I'm slightly mentally challenged.
I'm a little bit better this week than I was last week. Last week I had a really, really neat script, monologue in a teleprompter, and I didn't read it worth shit. Well,
why was that, Bill?
Well,
why that was.
Well, sometime before our show, my heart rate was at about 115 resting heart rate. A couple hours before the show. And it stayed 115 resting heart rate. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, keep getting texts to my wife, go to the walk-in clinic. I can't get up. And I finally go, and the lady at the walk-in clinic is like, you're getting here. You've had this since Friday, and you're getting here right at closing time. And she does an EKG, runs it by another doctor, and they say, they recommend going to the emergency room. But at minimum, called first thing in the morning, call the primary care. Okay, so about 9:00, my wife keeps going, you need to go to the emergency room. Oh, if I'm not admitted, there's a $500 copay. So I don't want to take the chance. She's like, you're going to be admitted. No. And then I hear her in the living room getting on the phone with my sister. And then they tag team. And then she brings in and puts my sister on, on speaker and puts a blood pressure cuff down. Here, take your blood pressure. So they're like, you need to go. And then I take my blood pressure, and I've never seen this. The screen on the app that's connected to the blood pressure monitor lights up red and says, call 911 immediately.
Yeah, he's doing better, dude.
So I'm like,
he almost died last week.
Yeah, and this is, I think, why I was having trouble reading the teleprompter and having trouble with last week's show, just going, because I thought it was going to be really great. And then I got off and I was like, well, that kind of. So then I do my watch. I have a Samsung watch and does an ECG. So I do that, and it says, contact your healthcare provider immediately. And I was like, maybe we should go to the emergency room. So I go to the emergency room, and my white blood cell count is 27,000.
Holy crap.
Which is evidently pretty high. So I've been running through AI, through Grok with the records and everything. And he explains, because, I see the results of an x-ray and all that long before a doctor comes in and tells me about it. Comes up on the app. So I feed it into him, and I was here, this is good, this is not, they're going to be doing this. Well, after the fact, something my wife and sister could have done is taken. I had so many symptoms going on, I thought I was a hypochondriac if I called and told them. If I called and told them, I thought they'd think I'm a hypochondriac. I've got shivers, dizzy, 115 heart rate constant, and weak. And after the fact, I typed all that into Gemini. And Jim and I goes, oh yeah, you've got this, and a septic, this, and basically exactly what the doctor said within a half hour of getting to the emergency room. And I said, then it said, you should have your friend go to the emergency room, call 911. And I said, what do you think the estimate of the white blood cell count would be? And Jim and I said, numbers aren't important. Get him to the hospital. So I said, okay, it was me. I've gone. I'm out. What do you think the number was? And he says, oh, between this and up to 22,000. And I said it was 27,000. And he said, your wife and sister probably saved your life. He said you were right on the edge of septic shock. And through the night, I'm choking up like a GERD attack, and it goes up into your throat and into your nose. And I keep laying down. I take Pepto-Bismol, I take Alka-Seltzer, and it just doesn't, it doesn't go away. But that's what we think happened. I pushed it up into my lungs.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it pulled it up into the lungs, choking it up, trying to lay down and go to sleep with all that going on. But back to the topic we should have gotten into immediately, because a few people bailed on us.
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they're back after you kept on saying the things.
Oh, yeah. One.
Yeah. One person made it back. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. Data centers.
Oh, hold on.
What?
Hold on. Here's the thing, though. You know, both looking, and I'll say this: we're kind of both right on this. And I know you're going to go off on the data centers and everything, how he's and what he's doing. I'll get after what Bill says, but we're both kind of right that no one's doing anything about the stuff that's happening in Texas right now, and it's getting kind of scary. But go ahead, Bill.
What the hell? Who the hell is advising you, Abbott? You really need better advisors. He had a system going called Batch Zero, or the batch system, and they had Batch Zero. And I may have gotten into it. Did I get into it last week or the week before? No. Well, with Batch Zero, it was going to require the data center developers were going to have to jump through a lot of hoops to get approved through ERCOT. Yeah, it doesn't require legislative session to create rules. ERCOT will. Oh, we lost Dave. ERCOT.
How'd you say you lost me?
Because you blanked out and got the swirly thing.
Oh, no.
You can't. A black screen came up.
Go ahead, Bill.
Okay. Oh, I hate that. I lost my train of thought. Where was I?
Your ERCOT is not legal system.
Oh, no. They don't need legislative approval. ERCOT has to approve them. ERCOT has the regulations to approve. They can say no. Period. And there's a lot of hoops that they have to jump through to prove they're viable, an actual project who has control of the land. They have the money to do it. And they have the money for the infrastructure. They have to prove that they will set up the infrastructure, have a plan to build it.
Hold on, Bill. What is ERCOT exactly? So everybody knows.
It is the main grid of Texas.
Yeah, it's also the main thing that fucked over the Snowmageddon in 2020.
Yeah, that there's
I don't know.
That's a whole other topic that would take a lot to go into.
No. I'm on the fence. I'm with you with hating ERCOT, because even Abbott even said, is like, we're trying to get rid of them, and we're trying to get legislation away from what they're doing, because everything they do so far is against the people of Texas.
Lost you on that. You mean the data centers?
No, ERCOT.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Did you see me blank out?
No.
Oh, that was weird. I blanked out with the swirly screen. Anyway, he worked with ERCOT. They had a hearing a few months ago, and they set up the rules. They set up the batch system. Everyone agreed with it. Great thing. Everything that you hear, most of the things you hear Abbott coming out saying, we're going to make the data centers do this now, after he paused it, after he did the stupid pause, and he says, we're going to make them do this. That's already part of the batch system.
Yeah.
And they had to, on July 10th, they had to submit the initial filing. And the initial filing with a 300, depending on the size of the project, up to $300,000 payment. Normally, when a business would submit a filing to ERCOT, ERCOT would go, okay, we're going to do a study of how it will affect the grid. Well, the change is, we're going to do the study, but we're not going to foot the bill. You got to pay for it in advance, non-refundable.
What the hell?
This is what I'm saying. He strengthened the damn rules on data centers. This thing was solid. Okay, so they would have to pay for it now. They had until July 24th to put together an entire packet showing they had control of the land, showing they had a viable plan to actually build it, showing they had a viable plan to create the infrastructure, a viable plan for backup power. That was already there. That was happening. Right now, it looks like it wasn't, because he's kind of, we're going to do this. Dude, you already had it locked up. So on July 24th, they had to do to file the final paperwork. And the next on the timeline was August 7th. On August 7th, the data center developers were going to be told if they were accepted, or if they needed more, denied, or if they needed more information. Then August 31st was the final cure deadline to cure the information if they needed to correct something. They had to have it turned in. Next month, the public would have known the actual results of batch 0. Now, why is that important? A lot of the stuff out there is purely speculative. Like the local Brad Altman project. He wasn't really ready to do a data center. He was just trying to create a project to flip.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of data centers out there that are the same way. Companies that have the idea, and went ahead and just submitted a request for power connection. They don't really have a set plan. They don't have a customer yet, but they submitted the request anyway. Then you have a data center like, and I think may have mentioned this one last week. You have like 5 different counties that they're thinking of putting a data center in, but they haven't bought the land or anything yet. They're just working with the local governments and stuff. Well, they went ahead and they would submit 5 different power requests. So it would be in the queue.
Yeah.
So you'd have all these five requests when at most one of them would actually be executed. The other 4 would fade.
Yeah.
So,
I totally
so
understand.
you've got this number that's 474 gigawatts that they keep throwing around. Oh my God, Texas is going to need to provide 474 gigawatts of power. How ERCOT, we'll never do it. And that damn Sid Miller keeps throwing it out there. And geez, 7 minutes?
20 minutes. Go ahead.
What a fucking dick. Quit throwing the number around. And the thing about that number, the thing about that 474 gigawatt number, when the results were going to be released next month, liberals would not be able to use that number anymore. Solid proof. Solid. not conjecture, not he's doing it for the elections. That number, I estimate, would be reduced by 70 to 80%.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing on that though, and we've talked about this with the whole thing with Nancy Pelosi and the in 2002 or whatever, whenever it was when Bush tried to get a kids on like Medicare. They flipped it and put old people on it on this new system, and they couldn't, or it was teenagers. They could do it for like a certain age group, but they couldn't do it with any with like teenagers. Whatever the case, they use that saying, "Oh, I guess Bush doesn't like kids." What they're doing is just it's the slow form of psyops. Basically, what they're doing is they're going up. Oh, we know, and they could actually know these numbers are actually false. It's just they know it was like, oh, they're just putting all this stuff in there. But if we add them all together and we tell everybody now why this is horrible, then we can get a stoppage on a lot of this stuff and get people screaming and yelling and say, we don't want these anymore because they're going to steal this and steal that. It makes sense now what you're talking about. And now, are they going to make these that many data centers? Probably not.
No, that's the whole point. The whole number is phantom, but the number needed to be corrected so that the real number was out there before the election. Then people would have gone, oh, okay, but then they throw the water issue in. Now the speculative, the water issue.
Yeah,
no, the water issue. No, this is why he changed it. This is why he paused it. He added the water issue in. The water issue is going to affect maybe 2 or 3 data centers. Period. But he took the pressure from everyone going water, 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 and he did the pause saying, I'm going to add the water issue into it. He should have let the number get out there. Then they couldn't use the 474 gigawatt number. They would have had to have used whatever, 70% less of that is. That would have been, okay, proven. Then he could add the water issue and pause it. But now that number that's fake and would have been proven real, it's still going to be proven real, but after the election. So now all you're seeing is, it's not real that he's reducing it. He's going to backtrack after the election. He's just showing it, prove this, prove that. The number was there. It wouldn't have required proof. It would be there. It'd be set. ERCOT regulations were already in place to create that number. Yeah. Now they're going to have to still run on that number, but in that number, which is going to be reduced sometime in the next probably 6 months, but now they're just going to use it and say it's a campaign lie and it's not real. But it would have been real. So that's the tactical error. Now he's stuck with it, and there's no backing down on it. Now that's the big issue that I've worried the most about it turning the election. And at first, when I saw this, because I know it's going to be hammered.
For today's technology, we cannot let artificial intelligence become yet another arena where billionaires write the rules for the rest of us.
Okay, now he's
hey, Bill, play that video again, but blow it up.
Oh, okay. I wasn't necessarily going to play the whole thing, but I can do that.
We need a new American dream for today's technology. We cannot let artificial intelligence become yet another arena where billionaires write the rules for the rest of us. Working people Working people must get a say and a share of that AI future. We can start by cracking down on the data centers that are jacking up our utility bills and using up all our water. And if data center companies can't meet our demands, they shouldn't be built in our communities. We can go further. We can establish an AI dividend so every American citizen owns a piece of these.
Okay, Bill.
That's a bunch of complicated stuff. The AI dividends. We won't go into that bullshit. But see, he did the utility bill thing. If the batch zero number had come out next month, then how they have to deal with us, because the next step, but still before they can do a connection next year, they were going to have to pay another non-refundable fee, $50,000 per megawatt. I think it is $50,000 per megawatt. They were going to have to pay into the system that would have gone to something like for us, Encore, the provider. So for a ratepayer guarantee, a fund to keep electric rates from going up. So that was the next step in this approval process next spring. And it would have amounted to tens of millions of dollars, not only provide their own infrastructure, pay for it, maintain it, but pay tens of millions of dollars into the system that would have gone to Encore to keep our rates from going up.
Yeah.
Basically, the more data centers that went all the way through that approval, great. This is helping our grid. But he stopped that. And then Tallarico there with the water thing. The water thing, we've gotten into that, is an absolute fucking lie. You don't have that in Texas. But now what gave me some hope was taking that video and looking at some of the comments under it. Yeah, what lakes have been drained? Show me that they didn't get drained. Beware of wolf in sheep's clothing. Promises made until elected, like always. Gimme. Well, anyway, I'm not spotting them right off, but the majority of these, does he even know what a data center does?
Yeah. Well, anyway,
and the majority of it is like, we're not voting for a communist.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing that we'll need to address. But also, take your thing off the stage completely, because I'm getting a bad echo whenever you do that. Here is something that I was expressing early in the part of the show. And this guy, John Ferguson, Texas, Greg Abbott, said that Sharia law won't be allowed in Texas, yet it has been exposed to over 300 Sharia law tribals that have been taken place. Texans must demand answers and accountability. Without it, the law loses its integrity that all Americans abide by. Wake up, Texas. Now, here's a video of that. Let me get this set up correctly. There we go.
A Sharia court was operating in Texas with judges, a written constitution, and rulings it called final. And on its own website, the court claimed something extraordinary. It claimed it settled disputes among American Muslims with the approval of the Texas judicial system. No. But Texas approved nothing. Yeah. That line is gone now. So is the page where the same court conceded that the body of law it applied included stoning and the cutting off of hands.
We've been tracking this for a while now, and the proof has been sitting right in front of us in black and white. A Sharia court was operating in Texas. We've all seen this. We've all reported on this. Not some informal meeting, a court with judges, with a written constitution, and with rulings it called final. On its own website, this group claimed something shocking what you just saw. It said it was settling disputes among American Muslims with the approval of the Texas judiciary system. Lo and behold, that claim was a lie. Texas never approved any such system. Those pages on that website are now gone, deleted, but not before the governor and the attorney general saw that it was on there, including the parts where this same court admitted its body of law included stoning and the cutting off of hands. When an organization writes that down, calls itself a court, claims state approval, and then scrubs the evidence the moment people start looking, that's not a religion, that's a warning. This is proof that we've all been posting about. Subscribe to our free newsletter. Link is in the bio. It's also on Substack and Nick's Right Podcast.
See, and that's what a lot of people aren't looking at anymore. I keep on talking to a lot of people about this, mostly my coworkers, and they're more or less going. They have more information about the data center stuff because it's the only thing on Facebook that's popping out for everybody around here because we're getting 3 data centers. But my concern isn't data centers. Do we get them? Cool. We don't? Bad on us. The retirees decided to not prosper the young in the area, and that's my thought process on this whole data center thing. Okay, the people here want everything to be the same. They're willing to try to get more food places so the young can work at. Guess what? It doesn't pay the amount of money that a data center does. Unless you're working, getting that one cobbler place in town, which don't go to it. You get like a small cup of cobbler for $7. Screw that. Don't go to that place. I'm telling you right now. No one's looking at the Muslims in our community. And Plano, Texas, Houston, Austin area, they are trying to take over our state. Do I know some Muslims that are good people? Yes, I've worked with one. He's a nice guy. I would not, if someone was trying to harm him because they thought XYZ, and the way that it's coming off that I'm trying to be racist, I'm not trying to be racist. What I am trying to do is advise you they are trying to implement their belief structure onto everybody else, and you have to do that belief structure. I don't believe in that. I'm a Christian. I don't believe that, I should go out and force somebody to hold on a cross. If a person is Jewish, I respect their Star of David. If they're Muslim, I respect their prayer beads. But you do not force anything onto anybody. It's legal. Even in the eyes of the Lord, that's wrong. You do not force anything onto other people, called free will. Anyways, Bill, last thing before we head off to the wild blue yonder.
This is how people get their misinformation. Now, when I see someone talk about a data center, it's using this, it's going to use this much water, or it's this noisy.
Hey, go ahead and play the video real quick because I gotta shift everything in.
I've got to set it up. I got to set it up.
We can set, why can't
no, I mean I've got to do a setup intro. I can't just play it without people knowing what's going on. So basically, you ask, what is it? Where is it? How old is it? When anyone mentions a data center. So someone brought up this data center, this video. They brought up this video and they said, oh, look, evil data center.
Is there any way? Okay.
Okay, you look at that, and I'll go back to it just for a second. Now, look at it, and you see that building on the corner on the upper left, and you see a cloth banner right here. You see that banner, and there's a platform, and the banner is covering what's behind the platform. So, what is it? I check. The guy puts his address out there. The guy who this person linked to this other guy, and this other guy put his address out there. Okay, let's look at it. AI, what data center is nearby? None. It's not a data center. So what's the noise coming from? That big building in the corner is a Mason's Lodge in Waco, 1940s Mason Lodge. That big area behind the banner is the HVAC units that they installed a few years ago for that 1940s Mason Lodge. Now, the guy didn't lie on his video. He says in the description, when someone said, "What is it?" He says, "An industrial air handler of some sort, as large as my house. They just built it a few years ago, been dealing with it ever since." Now, here's the issue with this. In one of the big anti-data center groups that's in Texas, and this person who, if you see his name, he's passing bullshit. He puts it out. Please share this and make sure that Greg Abbott knows. And he's made it like people that it's a data center that Abbott approved and it's built in there. Well, one, the guy said that it was several years ago, but you read the comments. Greg Abbott did this. Sue for damages. Take noise readings and sue. Linking to Office of the Governor. Please stop these data centers. No one should be subjected to this torture. These need to be shut down. On and on it goes. So that's the disinformation. He has made people think that this video that he probably knows wasn't a data center is a data center. And he's riled up the entire area in Waco to go against this. We'll let him know in November. The mayor should also stop him. It's not a data center, but they purposely, in that data center group, and that guy, Isidore, he humps all around on the groups where you think it's a little grassroots groups, and then all of a sudden he throws some bullshit in there like this, riles people up. He's riled them up on something that's bullshit. It's
Okay.
It's a lie the way he's presented it.
Hey, Bill.
Huh?
Get rid of that video real quick.
It's off the stage.
Take it off yourself. Put it back on. Take it off. Okay. Now I'm not echoey again. Anyways, there was this video. This is just to show you the reference of other people. I could have two, but I'm only going to do one. There is a video that circulated, and a friend of mine sent it to me. I was like, "Hey, dude, this is the reason why you can still carry blah, blah, blah." It was a guy who the store was getting robbed. Guy came out, shot the assailants. Oh, he's a hero and everything like that. This happened in Texas because it said this is what happens when you rob a store in Texas. I looked at the video. I was like, man, that's kind of strange. I've never seen something like that in Texas, and it might be a Mexican shop because of the Mexican stuff like that. I'm not really sure. So I had something analyze the video. You know where it was at? Brazil, which they have. You know, you can carry your own gun if you wanted to, but because someone said, "Oh, this was Texas," but that's how it goes. Now, we can go more further into this next week. I work this weekend, so hopefully next week we'll have more for you. hopefully not data center stuff, because I told Bill we're done talking about that, even though he got irate and he almost died. That's the only reason why I said this is okay for this week, because Bill almost died. But anyways,
You were talking about shopping in Texas and guns?
well, the Idaho, Iowa, was it Idaho? Bill, stop. I told you, no, I've already seen that video, and no, we're cutting the show. I have to go to bed.
Okay.
Anyways, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. I'm David Dickerman.
And I'm Wild William.
Thank you all for that. Stay for the listening and everything, and watched us later on. Goodbye. Love you guys. Later.